Hey folks, this is Susie Meadows, Craftin' with Susie, and I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Central Indiana. Tonight, I want to put together a card for a color challenge. The challenge is to use Highland Heather, Garden Green, Blushing Bride inks. We can also use black, and we can use white or vanilla cardstock. But I'm going to be using white cardstock, and I've pulled just a couple scraps of colored paper out. And I think, well, we're just going to get started. Let me get these out of the way. This was to show you what our colors were. Put them off to the side here. Here, we'll just scoot it a little bit. How's that? So you can continue to see what the colors are. Okay, I think what I'm going to start with, I have thick white cardstock, and that's going to be my base, but I have a panel that I'm going to stamp onto, and I've got some die cutting. So I think we're going to die cut first. We are going to use the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and I'm going to do two different things. First of all, I am going to do some embossing. And I like this little machine because it doesn't take technology. And it's really easy to use. Here's my instructions. Since I am going to be embossing on this, I'm going to use my base plate, and this is plate 4 is for my embossing folder, and this is for a 3D. And here we go. I'm going to be using the new Wintry 3D embossing folder in the new catalog. Now you may think, yes, this is winter, but I think it's going to work for this project. So we're going to put base 1 in. We are going to get my paper. We're going to be using, there's the Highland Heather, and here is the Blushing Bride. And you always go hinge first. So we'll just put that in here. Hinge first. There we go. And here, we'll stack them up. There we go. We'll put it so where there's tension. Now I'm going to rock your world a little bit. I've got it started. So I'm just going to hang on to it, and I'm just going to run it through. And it's okay. Yes, my table is moving. There we go. So let's see what we've got here. Okay, look at that pretty design. And see, you and I know it's pine boughs, but on this card, someone may just not know for sure. They may just think it's foliage. So we'll put that to the side. Get this out of the way. Now I'm going to do a little bit of die cutting. That's what's nice with this machine, is that you can emboss and you can die cut. And I've chosen to use the Quiet Meadow bundle. And I'm going to use these dies. They are called Meadow dies. And I'm going to use this label right here. Now I have already cut out 2 of these just to save some time. But that's where I got that other one. So let's get this on here. As you can see, I've been using them. They're cut up. They're doing the job they're supposed to do. And so to die cut 1, and then my cutting plates. There's my first one. Get my paper. Let's get this in here a little better. Now I like doing it off at an angle so I don't have a speed bump. Because if you do everything straight, and let's conserve some paper. So we'll just put it off to the side there. Maybe I can use another piece use this for something else. I don't know. So, and we'll just, once again, get the tension and then just wind it through. There we go. Okay, get this out of the way. And here is our neat little label. Cool, huh? Okay, now I better put this back in my case so I don't lose it. There we go. But we'll be using this again. So let me get these out of the way here. Get some working room. Okay. we are going to, on this, you know, we'll just go ahead and stamp it. I'm going to be using the Thinking of You, this one right here. And I'm going to do that in Highland Heather. Okay. Make sure I've got it inked up well. Yep, it looks like it. Okay, and we're just going to do it right in the middle. Boom. There we go. Nice. Okay. Get that out of the way. Okay. And we'll get the ink pad out of the way. That's always a good thing. Just put that there. Okay. Now, I'm going to use this flower, but I'm going to color it with my Stampin' Right markers. So, when you do this, you always start with your light color first because you don't want to contaminate the inks. And see, so I'm going to have my flower is my Blushing Bride, and I'm using the broad tip, but I'm laying it on its side. I am not using the tip, just laying it on its side and just going over all of these. Now, the thing is, the ink is going to dry, and that's okay because we are going to re-moisten it. Okay, make sure that was my flower. Here's flower. There's a bud and a flower. Okay, looks good. Okay, with my Highland Heather, I'm going to give it some definition. So in the center, I am just going over this. And see, it's a darker color, so it's not contaminating my marker. And if you're not really sure, you can always get a scratch piece of paper and just lay that down to make sure it's not. There we go. Cool. Okay, now we're ready for the garden green. We're ready to do the foliage. So we're going to do the stems. And once again, the broad tip, it lays the ink down really fast, which makes it nice. And there we go. And with the garden green, you can also see if you missed any place. Okay. I like doing these color challenges. My team leader puts these out. And the nice thing about this is that it makes me stretch. Because I can get caught in a rut and do things the same way, do the same colors. And I tell you, some of these color challenges that Brandy gives us, there's no way I would have ever used those colors. So, okay, we've got this, and I've got my panel. My art, I'm going to call it an art panel. The way we re-moisten it is we just breathe on it. And the warmth, moisture will reactivate the ink. May not sound the best, but okay, we are ready. And so we are just going to go down and straight down and press. And there we go. Okay, let's bring this up where you can see it. Can you see that little bit of Highland Heather in the middle? It just gives it a little bit of definition there. And that's what I was wanting. So, okay, let's go ahead and put the card together. Okay, I want my Highland Heather foliage here. And do I want it this way? Oh, I want it that way. And I'm just going to use some liquid glue because it allows me to move it around just a little bit. So get some, okay, and I want this right up to the edge. So see how it's allowing me to move it just a little bit. There we go. That's what I want. Good. Okay, now I'm ready for my Blushing Bride. I'm going to do the same thing. Just adding some more liquid glue, putting it right next to it. Putting it right against it. There we go. Oh, now see, oops. See, I got a little bit of time here. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put a little more. I didn't have it even at the top, and I want it even at the top. I wouldn't have had to, but I want it even at the top. So, let's get that top started correctly this time. Put my finger there to hold it. And there we go. Yep, that's what I want right there. Now, you can see it's a little long. Well, guess what? I have some scissors. And I will just trim to make them even. There we go. Okay, now let's see what we're doing next. Okay, I said I had already cut out a couple of these pieces of greenery stems, I guess you could call them. I think I want it like that. Now, I also am, let me get my tag back here that we've already stamped. And I'm going to use this Highland Heather Grosgrain ribbon. And I want it to go across. So I'm going to cut it. Now this is a little thick. I don't want it that thick. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut it. Not in half, a little, maybe cut a third of it. Okay, a little more here. There we go. And the neat thing about this is if you pull these strands off, look at that. It's silver, which makes sense. You know, it's a metallic ribbon. So it does make sense. That's what we've got. And I want to do that on this little piece too, because I'm not sure if I'm going to use the big piece or the little piece. Okay, I want some more off. Come on. Nope, a little bit more. Okay, get some of these strands out of the way. These pretty purple. Get them over here. I'm trying to get them off my fingers. I've got a little bit of static going on here. Ah, come on now. Seriously, it won't come off. Oh, let's see if I get my hands wet, if that will help. Oh my goodness. Static and a little bit of liquid glue. Okay, so we've got these. Now, which do I want? Because what I want to do is go right here, and I want this behind it. Do I want the big? I want the big one, I think. Okay, so we are going to, how are we going to do it? We're going to run it behind. Do we want the silver at the top? I think we do. Okay, see, I'm sort of designing. I had a picture in my mind what I wanted to do, but I'm sort of designing, doing some of the final details on the fly with you. If I can, okay, I will get it in that hole, believe me. Okay, there we go. Yes, I just did not have it. I didn't have my mouth held right. Have you ever heard that phrase? Sometimes you just have to have your mouth held just right to get things to work. There we go. Okay. Okay, yep, I want that right there. So we need to get these down. I think, do I want it up high? Like this? Like I said, I had some things in my mind. Well, I want this tall one for sure. And, you know, I'm going to get gluey. So I might as well get my silicone mat out. So that way the glue stays on the mat and not on my workspace. And I'm just going to dab it a little bit. Okay. Now let's see. We want this. I want it high. So I'm going to put that right there. Okay. And then I want this one. I think I want it here. And the thing is, I don't need to see my mechanics down there. So we're just gonna cut. Well, let me glue it first, duh. That way, that gives me more flexibility, doesn't it, for the length? Okay. So I'm just dabbing on a little bit of glue. Okay. And I think we want this like that. Yep. Okay, now I can cut it. There we go. Get the silicone mat out of the way. Okay. Now, let me scoot some things over. I'm crowding myself. Do you ever do that as you work? Oh, I do. I think I want that right here. But I want it bumped up. So I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of it. I've got a couple dimensionals here. And I need to make sure it's long enough. Okay. Oh, just barely is it long enough. So there we go. Okay, get the backs out of the way. And I want that right here. Yep, there we go. Oh my goodness, is that short, but that's okay. Now, you got different ways of gluing that on the back. Of putting your, you can use tape back there, but I think I want that twisted like that. So I'm getting a mini glue dot, just putting it on the end and putting it back. There we go. And I want this one twisted a little more than that. You probably don't see it as well, do you? Because it's on Highland Heather on Highland Heather. So we're going to go like that. So I need my mini glue dot. And there. Yep, that's what I want. Ooh, I just barely caught that. I better put another one on here just in case. There we go. There we go. Good. Okay. I think that's looking good. Now, I'm ready to put it on here. And I'm just going to use, once again, liquid glue. And I like gluing it on the ribbon just to help reinforce it staying down. There we go. And we're just going to center it. There we go. Okay, now we've got this other piece. And you know, I think, get my glue dots out of the way, I think maybe, okay, what can we do with it? We can do a pretty zip, or what's a bow look like? Let me see what a bow looks like. Well, try it again. Like I said, my mouth wasn't held right this time either. Holy cow. I normally, it doesn't take 3 times to do a bow, but this is actually a little short. There we go. Oh, golly. Can I get it to work? Can I get it to work? There we go. Just got to take just a little patience, right? Now that is a different looking bow, isn't it? But I sort of like it. This is a different card. I tell you, by changing that up, that silver just makes it look different, doesn't it? But I think it adds to it. And it works within the color challenge because this is that ribbon. And it just happens to have silver underneath it. So I need another glue dot. And we're going to roll it just a little bit because I don't want the glue sticking out anywhere and catching on an envelope or anything else. And I think I'm going to put it right there. There we go. Okay, so what do you think? I like it. And this is for the color challenge, Brandy's color challenge for blooms and butterflies. Just to show you what we're doing, I got papers everywhere. I use the Quiet Meadow bundle, which is the dies. and the stamp set. And these are the 3 colors I used: Blushing Bride, Garden Green, Highland Heather. So there we go. Oh, and I used that embossing folder. Don't want to forget that one. The Wintry 3D embossing folder. Well, I got a little crazy here, didn't I? But hey, if you do not have a demonstrator, I'd love to earn your business. So you can check me out here at this address. And from there, you can find my Facebook. I do Facebook Lives every Monday. And I try to design projects easy up to elaborate. And so I would love for you to join me. So hope you are doing well, and thanks so much, gang. Bye-bye.